up? What up? Sorry I haven't been posting. I've been in jail, as it seems most of you people already know. A lot of stuff's been happening. I had to get back on my feet. I did 9 months on 2 years for felony false pretense. They convicted me of stealing the title to the property that I was posting the videos from last time. I'm gonna go upstairs a little bit and I'll show you guys what we're doing. I just want to give you guys a little brief rundown about everything that's been going on and what's been going on with me and how shit's been transpiring. Basically, I was not really trying to post all of the stuff that was going on because I was asked not to by members of the government. You know who you are. Both the United States government and my government, the Al-Moroccan Moorish National Divine Movement of the World, or Al-Maru. I don't know if we're going to get into all that. I'd rather just keep that between me and you guys. So, basically, for everyone else, there's a little falling out between me and another member of the government, and we haven't been speaking, and I was, promised that paperwork would be filed if I was put into custody and that I was going to receive aid, and I did. Amor had come down to California with me and was staying out here 3 days before my arrest, and to help me secure the house and grant the allodial title and everything else that was going on with the property. To do just a brief, real quick recap of everything that happened, I wasn't really uploading. I didn't really have access to, a phone or a camera or anything either. So, what happened was, from the very get-go, okay, I had, you guys had seen the video that I called and appointed the California State Treasurer as my fiduciary trustee, and told him if he had a problem with that to call and rebut it, and he never did, right? So I started sending him all my bills. You guys seen how I started doing all that, right? And sending everything to the IRS. We're trying to figure out how to do all the A for Vs, right? So from there, that was when me and Lamont, started calling the treasurer and trying to figure out how we were going to process the payment, because we didn't all I did was basically give him an affidavit of fact promising to pay. I said I unconditionally promised to pay the definitive sum of money to the payee or to his order for a allodial title to the real property. And they opened an escrow agreement with the verification of funds being nothing more than my affidavit of fact. And then when I started calling the Treasury and asking them to provide the funds for the escrow company, they sent a fax to the escrow company, to my realtors, and to all the companies I'd been sending all the A for Vs to, telling them that I was committing fraud and that I really didn't have a trust account and that I was just making it all up, and that basically that they were going to get in trouble if they helped me acquire the property. So, oh my God, what is this? Oh, what is that? It's a little bunny. It's a baby bunny. Got bunnies all over here. All right. Oh, Joker died, by the way, while I was in jail in October. So she's not around anymore. After the treasurer's lawyer, Mark Paxton, contacted the realtors, I contacted him and told him what was up, and he said, you recording these conversations is bordering on legality, all this other stuff. I'd called the governor's office with my government and told them what was going on. Basically said, hey, we called the treasurer's office today, and he said that I was being unreasonable and asking to speak to the treasurer, and they hung up on us. And I called the governor, and he said just to stop calling the treasurer's office, and that he was going to contact legal and work on getting me something from them recognizing our government and our nation and the title to the house and all this other stuff. Never happened, never contacted anyone. The treasurer just continued to ignore all our phone calls and all my faxes. So I moved back into the house. I called the governor on my way to the house with my mom as a witness, and she said, she heard me say to the governor, the treasurer's office contacted my realtors and told them that I don't have a trust and that I'm just lying, even though I already discharged that $167,000 medical bill and showed that to the real estate company, proving that I have a trust account and that I can discharge Christopher Fleming, the legal entity who I'm authorized to represent debts, that they're not going to honor it and that they're not going to provide me with a request for the $60,000 open to the escrow. So because they didn't do that, they said that I breached and that the deal was off. And even though they had initially accepted the offers and told me that I was welcome to be at the house, and I had the keys, and I have text messages and voice recordings of all this stuff, and it's all a civil case. So I already filed a claim against the county for all that stuff. But while I was in jail fighting the case, and basically the video that you've seen of my 17th arrest right here, I know you guys seen it right there, I got arrested right down there, was of the cops showing up here after they had a real estate agent had come and showed up at the house where we were having a party, okay, and said that no one was supposed to be at the house, and left. I told her that I was supposed to be at the house. I showed her my escrow agreement and told her I'd been living there for over a month, going on a month, and she left, and then the police showed up at the door. I answered the door, came out, showed them all the paperwork, and they said that they're waiting for her to come, the real estate agent who called. She showed up, showed them paperwork from the county of San Bernardino stating that the house was recorded owner was some Ling Chang Wong guy, and that she was authorized by the seller to sell the house. The cops said that I had 5 minutes to leave the house, so they're going to arrest me for burglary. They took all my friends out of the house, came and surrounded the house, and then forced us all to leave. Well, told everyone I was going to go to jail for burglary. Yeah, told everyone, guys with tattoos on their heads, they don't have $2 million houses. And they're, and that basically like I'm squatting and all this other bullshit and everything I'm doing is illegal, and that I don't really have a real rental agreement. I don't know what they thought. I think they thought I was squatting when really I wasn't even squatting. Squatting is when you have a fake rental agreement, or when you have a rental agreement or you won't leave the property. They have to go and get you unlawful detainer by the lawful owner of the property, which I was claiming to be the owner. So how could I be squatting if I'm claiming to be the owner? Anyways, so that's basically what happened. They said if you don't leave the house, they let everyone leave, told everyone I was going to go to jail for burglary, all my friends, so it's like kind of defamation, and then said it is defamation and slander and libel. If I don't leave, they're going to arrest me for burglary. I leave, come back the next day with all my paperwork, go see the chick in my house with two other people trying to sell it, I guess, or showing them the house like it was for sale. And I went and served her and told her that basically I had a lien on the property, that they owed me money because I'd done all sorts of I'd done all sorts of repairs on the house, so and improved it, and they owed me. And she said, I'm going to call the police. So I called 911, and I told them that there's some lady in my house who's not supposed to be there, and I want to file a police report. And she did the same thing, and my sister and me bounced, and we came back here, and that was when you see me get arrested, when they just showed up and said, oh, well, do you have any proof that you own the house? And then I got arrested. Okay, so when I went to court, they told me if you don't, I went to court and I went in there and told them, I'm not Christopher Fleming, that I changed my name, that here's my status, that I'm not a citizen, all that. I played the whole name game that I always do in court, went through the whole thing. I'm not entering a plea of guilty or not guilty. I'm not the defendant in this matter. I don't believe that there's a damaged or injured party. I don't believe there's a contract that exists. Is there someone here who's come to claim injury? And get him out of the court. I'm entering a plea of not guilty for you. And then, if you don't plead guilty to this, then we're going to send you to the psych ward and say that you're crazy. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to sign it under duress. And he goes, well, you can't sign it under duress. So I signed it and I put UCC 1 through 207, all rights reserved, without prejudice, right? I come back to the court, and that's when I got released. I come back to the court 5 days later, and that was when you see me upload the other video from when I was right here. And I'm playing the court audio of everything that had happened when I went to go check into the court. And I think I showed the pictures of when I went to go post all the public notices outside the courthouse door. And the sheriff's deputies would not allow me to go revoke my plea or even allow me into the court building to serve my documents to the court clerk. So denied me access to the court clerk, assaulted, kidnapped me out of the court. Then I went to go show up for probation the next day, and because it was one of the terms of my release, I had to go check in probation within 7 days. So I went to go show up for probation, and they arrested me for refusing to walk through the metal detector with my paradome on. And then they released me on that charge on an OR. And then I waited 20 days, and the Moore sent the homie down here. And we went and we did all the quick claim deeds and filed all the affidavits and went and took back possession of the property after the time had expired for the DA to respond to my rebuttal, stating that, you forced me to sign that contract, that this is my house, that I don't believe there's any evidence to the contrary, that you can't steal land, that you can only steal, movable objects, property, personal property, that kind of shit. So, basically, sat in jail. I'll show you all the paperwork I have. It's upstairs. I guess we can go do that right now. But that's what happened with the house. So when I went back into court, they kept on trying to say that I never went and revoked my plea, that I have to ask the DA's permission to revoke my plea, because it's an agreement. It's a contract that I entered into with the DA. So I said no. I signed UCC 1 through 207, all rights reserved, without prejudice, on that plea bargain right there. I reserved all my rights. So you basically can't force me to enter into any contract that I didn't enter into knowingly, willingly. So we sat there and tried to get my plea revoked so I could have another trial, and they just refused. Like, they would not let me revoke my plea, and they said I was crazy because I read the Fifth Amendment, and I kept on going to court and not being the name and just being me, So forced me to be represented by a lawyer, said I was crazy, that I couldn't represent myself because I don't follow the rules of the court. So they play little games like, if you don't want to waive any time and you want to go to speedy trial, then they'll declare that you're insane so that they can postpone the court for 45 days. You know what I'm saying? Because the DAs aren't always ready when they pick up charges on you. So they got to build a case against you. They got to have time, and if you don't waive time, your lawyer's job is always to get you to try to waive time. But you have a Fifth Amendment constitutional right to speedy trial. So or I think it's Sixth. Yeah, I think it's the Sixth Amendment. Anyways, so that's what happened. So they basically forced me to abide by the obligation under the contract when I signed the plea bargain to stay 500 feet away from the house and do 3 years on felony probation. So when we went back to the house that night, after the Moors had sent homeboy out here and we went and did all the stuff with the house, we were back at the house having another party, and the cops show up and surround the house with the helicopters and 15 cops and arrest everyone, take all my affidavits, all my paperwork, my printer, all my clothes, everything's all in the house, and charge me with 5 felonies, right? So I'll show you all the paperwork that I have, all my charges and shit. But they completely dropped the case after 3 weeks. So me and the Moore sat in the jail, and the DA comes into the courtroom and goes, Your Honor, we can't release these men. That they don't even believe in our in our laws or this court or the jurisdiction of this court, and we can't let them go. And because the Moore came all the way out here from St. Louis, so they didn't want to just release him and he'd never had any prior convictions, so they didn't want to go to court on the trial on this whole trumped up charges. Like, they charged me with ridiculous charges like filing fake instruments, possession of fake checks, stupid shit. They were like totally grasping at straws, trying to like make stuff up. And then he has like this perfect record, so it's just so bad. It's like he's been in the military for 8 years, and then like with me, like 19 arrests in 2 years, like, you know. So I don't know. It's just funny how they dropped the whole case, and now I filed a claim against all the property that they took from me and shit. So when I get out, okay, so basically then they said they always wanted to release me on probation. We're just going to release you on probation today. You're just going to do the terms of probation. Do you agree to the terms of probation? Stay 500 feet away from the house, and do not violate any law, and do 3 years on felony probation. So I just kept on saying, like, no, like, I want a retrial, like, I already revoked my plea, and they kept on saying, like, no, that I didn't, and that I was like, well, you're not God, you can't judge me, I'm not agreeing to the terms of probation, like, you can't put me on probation, I'm not even a citizen, I'm not subject to the Act, Statutes, Rules, Regulations, and I started going into the whole thing about why my witnesses weren't subpoenaed, and why they wouldn't allow my plea to be revoked, and, like, I kept on being, like, a knucklehead. I want to get my transcripts and show you guys, like, it's all gonna be in my book. I've been writing a book. But, fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So, then they tried to final sentence me, and they said, we're gonna final sentence you to 3 years felony probation today on, September, like, 27th. And or 16th, and I threw a whole big fit, and I was like, no, there's no victim, and there's no witness against me, and da-da-da-da, and I started going off about all this shit, and the only thing the judge honored was when I said, there's not even an accuser here, like, how do you even know that this is even me? So when I said that was the only thing that the judge, like, I made all these motions, I filed writs of habeas corpus, I filed a motion for, change of venue, I filed a motion for, disqualification of the judge. I filed a motion for disqualification of my attorney, disqualification of the district attorney. I filed a 10-page traverse with all this, like, I'll show you right now, it's crazy, like, I like hit him with all sorts of stuff. Affidavits of fact, and then, a nil to set default judgment, and they just ignored everything I filed. Oh, and a handwritten counterclaim, a compulsory counterclaim motion that I filed on 7/30, while the other case was still open. I filed a counterclaim on that case. So, and then I filed a claim against it too. So it's like, you want to come at me criminally? I'm gonna come at you guys civilly, and I'm gonna take all your shit. And then what are they gonna do? What are they gonna say? Oh no, they have immunity on just false imprisonment and then taking all my shit. No, they're not gonna be able to do it because it's all false imprisonment unless they pick up those charges, which is why the case is still pending, and which is why they won't give me my cell phone back or all my paperwork or my printer. I had to go buy a new printer. Look, that's why I have a new phone. I don't have any clothes. Look at my shoes are all burnt out. I had to go buy all new shit. I've been waiting. That's why I didn't have any money. I couldn't even get on my feet. Like, I had to wait, you know. So it's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. It's all gonna come back. You guys got the shit coming right back towards you. It's all karma. So they go. What was I gonna say? Oh, so they bring in the detective who showed up that night to come and testify against me on October 3rd at my final sentencing hearing, because they couldn't final sentence me unless there was someone there to come and testify. So they brought in this the witness who was there that day, and he goes, the detective, and they ask him. They say, okay. Do you see any, is there someone in the courtroom who was at the house that night? And he goes, yeah, he is. And he goes, would you indicate who it is? And he's like, he's right there, he's in orange. And he points to me, and, like, I objected to him even getting on the stand. I was like, this is an interested, zealous witness who's been called by the district attorney against me maliciously, and basically, saying like that I'm already filing lawsuits against him, and that Mr. Brown isn't my representative, and that he's not my lawyer, and that they can't represent me, and that I want to question the witness, that I should be able to question him. But my lawyer does get up and ask him a question before he leaves. So they go, so Mr. Fleming was there, and that's all he was testifying, was that I was violating the court order not to be there. And my lawyer goes, did the owners of the home appear there that day? And he goes, no, they didn't. And he goes, actually, Christopher claimed to be the owner of the house. And then that's when they final sentenced me to 2 years in county prison, because he said, well, what do you want to do, probation or prison? He said, you tell me right now, probation or prison. The next words that come out of your mouth are probation or prison. I said, I conditionally accept your offer to final sentence me on this conviction that that you're not even have any jurisdiction over, but I don't really believe that you're a real judge, so there's no way that I'm even going to be acting or pretending that you're a real judge unless you can prove to me that you are. So how about you go to your office right now, and you go get your oath of office, and you bring it in here, and you read it on the court record, that I really know that you're a real true judge right now, and that you're actually honoring the law, because it seems like you're not. Why would you deny me my Fifth Amendment constitutional right to subpoena witnesses on my behalf to come and testify about the incidents relating to this subject matter at hand? And just hitting him with like, oh, that over and over and over. No, I want to see your oath of office. You must be some kind of Freemason. This is some kind of like, you guys are just trying to convict me for this, and this is so stupid, and this is my house, and like, why would I, you're trying to say I didn't revoke my plea, just going off and off and off, over and over and over, getting everything on the record, because you know why? Because someone's sitting there going like this, typing up every word, that's all in the transcripts, you know what I'm saying? Most people, when they're in court, they don't say a word, they're all scared, like, I'm just sitting there fucking saying all sorts of shit, so I can bring up all this on appeal, I can come right back at them. I'm sitting there reading case law, I brought my Black's Law dictionary, because I went into court and I told them, hey, I want to use the law library. He told me, no, you can't. I said, well, I need to bring paperwork to court, so I got a court order to bring paperwork to court. When you're in county jail, they won't even let you bring paperwork as an inmate to court in California. That's how they act right here. You can't bring anything to court. You can't even bring your Bible. You can't. It's crazy. It's insane how they act right here. But so I was able to bring my paperwork to court. So I would just sit there and prepare these litanies and just start reading. Because when you're in court, only one man can speak at a time. That's one of the court rules. So I have the right to speak in my own defense and for my own matters. So like, of course, I'm gonna sit there and just like and go off, right? Like, who cares? And the whole thing's a big joke, anyways. So he goes, the next words are probation or prison. So I just told him, like, I conditionally accept your offer to sentence me to probation or prison upon the proof of the claim that you actually have jurisdiction to even hear this matter. And if I hear anything other than probation or prison, then I'm going to remove you and I'm going to sentence you to prison. I was like, well, I conditionally accept your offer to do so, but I don't believe that you even have the jurisdiction, and I'm afraid to even do anything right now because you got men standing around me with guns, and I don't feel like I'm even able to make a free, willful choice right now, and I don't think that this is that this whole action is lawful, and that my incarceration, that you don't even respond to my habeas corpus or to my notices, and I'm just going off like on everything, just making sure I'm getting everything I can on the record, and then that's when they just pulled me out again, and the cops dragged me out. I'm now being assaulted and kidnapped out of the room by armed men with guns, like I always did. Every single time, I never walked out of the room. I was always dragged out by the cops, and I would always say that on the court record. I'd be noted on the court record. I'm now being assaulted and kidnapped out of the courtroom by armed men with guns, all that shit. Okay, so so then I think that's it. Oh yeah, then they gave me 2 years, and then I got out 11 months early, because I was supposed to do the 2 years, and the county jails are so full, because in California prisons right now, they're so full, they're keeping everyone who's nonviolent in the county jail. So the county jails are completely like packed. So they were just releasing everyone, and I was like problem inmate. Like I kept on getting multiple disciplines. I'll show you guys. Like I got my whole stack upstairs, and I go show you on my next video. But yeah, I got 11 months early, because technically I lost. Like I threw a food tray at a deputy. They said like they tried to like put all these other shit on me, and none of it worked. I still got out 11 months early. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So I'll show you guys the rest of the stuff that we're working on the next video that I'm going to post, because the IRS actually sent me notice of a lien that they're going to put on me while I was in custody. So I sent them a A4B. I'll show you guys about that, and some of the other A4Bs and stuff that I'm working on, and the plan. Yeah, I've been getting everyone's messages and shit. I just haven't had a phone. You guys know I always take the phone calls. I got the same phone number. It's 909-839-3313. And my email is sirhc3@aol.com. And yeah, my Facebook, you can search my email and shit. But So I'll do everything I can to help you guys out. Let's all work together, help each other. Thanks for all the phone calls and the messages and shit. Big shout out to all the people, the guy who was writing me while I was in jail. No one really wrote me the whole time I was in jail. And I got one letter. So it's kind of fucked up. Fuck you guys. Alright, I'll love you guys later.